Hi friends, myself Aniket Renavikar, Assistant Professor, Center for Distance Education, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. In program MCOM Valuation of Real Estate, the topic is building new building materials. In that we can already learn about the rubber. There are properties of rubber, forms of rubber, types of rubber, uses of rubber, etc. Also we can learn about the cork properties and its uses. Also we can learn gypsum, its properties, types of gypsum, gypsum plaster, its properties, advantages, uses in previous lecture. Today we learn about the sound absorption materials. In that there are classification of sound absorption material and its uses of sound absorption materials in this lecture. So there are the sound absorbent materials can be incorporated in building structures either in compressed state or in suspended state or in free state. In compressed state, they are provided between the load bearing panels of ceiling and floor. In suspended state, they are provided in the form of slabs fastened to ceiling so as to provide an air pace. In free state, they are provided in non-compressed or loose manner. There are classification of sound absorption material. There are four type of classification in that. There is the first is a porous material, second is porous cum elastic material, buffer materials and perforated materials. The first is a porous material. This type of includes lightweight concrete with porous aggregates, foam glass, etc. In second, porous cum elastic material. This type includes porous materials with an elastic backing. And in buffer material, it includes thin panels from veneer, rigid wood fiber slabs, solid cardboards, etc. And perforated materials includes perforated panels and slabs. The holes may be of equal diameter or different diameters, and they may be symmetrically arranged or located at random on the surface of panels or slabs. In sound absorption materials, most of the common building materials absorb sound to a small extent, and hence for better acoustical requirement, some other materials are to be incorporated on the surfaces of the rooms. Such materials are known as sound absorbent materials, and they help a great deal in making the room acoustically good. These materials are used for damping sound in ventilation installations, developing special acoustic effects in TV, radio and film shooting studios, etc. Facing interiors of premises which required a low noise level such as offices, restaurants, commercial centers, banks, etc. and also providing adequate acoustic in theatre walls, auditoriums, etc. The various types of absorbent materials are available in the market under the different trade names. The value of coefficient of absorption is supplied by the manufacturer. There are some of the common types of absorbent material. That is, first is a hair felt. This material was used for Professor Sabin in his experimental works. The average value of coefficient of absorption of 25 mm thick hair pelt is 0.60. Next is the acoustic plaster. This is also known as the fibrous plaster, and it includes granulated insulation material mixed with cement. If quantity of cement is more than required, the plaster will not have sufficient force to become effective for acoustics. If the quantity of cement is less, the plaster will not have enough strength. Thus, the quantity of cement should be carefully decided. For thickness of 20 mm and density of 1 kN per meter cube, the acoustic plaster possesses an absorbent coefficient of 0.30 at 500 cycles per second. The acoustic plaster boards are also available. They be fixed with the wall or they are fixed on the wall, and their coefficient of absorption varies from 0.15 to 0.20. 30. Next is acoustic tiles. These tiles are made in factory and sold under different trade names. The absorption of sound is uniform, tile to tile, and they can be fixed easily. However, the acoustical tiles are relatively costly than other absorbent materials. They are most suitable for rooms in which small area is available for the acoustical treatment. Next is a straw board. Straw board is a material can also be used as an absorbent material with a thickness of 13 mm and density of 24 kN per meter cube. It possesses a coefficient of absorption of 0.30 at 500 cycles per second. Next is the pulp boards. These are the soft boards which are prepared from the compressed pulp. They are cheaper and can be fixed by ordinary paneling. The average value of coefficient of absorption is 0.17. Next is a compressed fiber board. The material may be perforated or unperforated. The average coefficient of absorption for the former is 0.30 and for the latter is 0.52. It has a density of 3 kN per meter cube. Next is a compressed wood particle board. The compressed wood particle board, it is a material is provided with perforations and it can be painted also. With a thickness of about 13 mm, the average coefficient of absorption is 0.40. Next is a perforated plywood. This perforated plywood, this material can be used by forming composite panels with mineral wool and cement asbestos or with minerals, wool and hardwood. It is generally suspended from trusses. The average value of coefficient of absorption for the former composite panel is as high as 0.95 and for the latter composite panel it is about 0.20. Next is a wood wool board. The wood wool board is the material is generally used with a thickness of 25 mm and it has density of 4 kN per meter cube and the average value of coefficient of absorption is 0.20. Next is a quilts and mats. These are prepared from mineral wool or glass wool and are fixed in the form of acoustic blankets. The absorption coefficient of such quilts and mats depend on the thickness, density, perforations, mode of fixing, nature of backing and frequency of. These are the various types of sound absorption material. So today we stop here. We can learn about the sound absorption material, their types, their classification, their uses and various common types of absorption material, that is hairy felt, acoustic plaster, acoustic tiles, board, pulp boards, compressed fiber boards, compressed wood particle boards, perforated plywood, wood wool board, quilts and mats in this picture. So these are the various new building materials which are we have learned. In that we can learn about the first is a rubber, next is a third is a gypsum, in that gypsum plaster, and third last is a sound absorption materials. So these are the various new building materials used in construction nowadays. So friends, today we stop here, all with reference to the self-instruction made for valuation real estate subject and program in Center for Distance Education, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. So friends, stop here. You query any doubt regarding this, you can directly mail on following mail ID cd_multi@unishivaj.ac.in. Thank you very much.